folks. Welcome in 7 Rivers Racing, KQE GTV. I'm Dan Dyker, coming off a huge weekend of racing, both dirt and asphalt. I got my feet wet again, racing my second Hornet race up at the Mississippi Tundra Speedway, and then sat back and watched some huge racing going on at the La Crosse Speedway as part of the 124th Annual La Crosse Interstate Fair. We're going to recap you right off the bat. A lot of video to show today, as we had twin 20-lap features with the La Crosse late models at the La Crosse Speedway Saturday night. Let's take you to the last 2 laps of late model race number 1. 20 laps, and this was a good one here. Cole Hamlin had a shot to win this thing until a caution came out, and he got stuck on a restart and just lost his advantage he had over the entire field, primarily Brad Powell, as Powell has just been on a rail this year in his backup car, that red number 23. And Cole Hamlin put his foot into it, trying to track him down. Steve Carlson did the same thing. Ty Majeski came back up on this weekend to race both races. Matter of fact, he'll be back out this coming weekend as well. But nobody had enough to chase down La Crosse's Brad Powell in the 23. Powell, as you see right there, holds off for Cole Hamlin for the win. Ty Majeski got a podium finish. He took third. Steve Carlson, Sean Paff rounded up the top 5 positions. So we go to number 2, and in this one here, well, Brad Powell was trying to get himself back-to-back wins. We're going to show you right after this clip what happened and why he couldn't. But the night belonged to Steve Carlson, as Carlson still right around the top of the point standings with Mike Kenneke and Brad Powell. And this looked like almost an ideal finish from the first race. Paff was there, Howland was there, Jeremy Wagner had the pole, and well, Brad Powell couldn't find his way back up around after going towards the back. Second 20-lapper, Steve Carlson drove away for the race win. He held off Todd Corrish, who won a feature 2 weeks ago. Sean Paff found himself on the podium finish again. Cole Hamlin finished 4th. And your pole sitter, Jeremy Wagner, rounded out the top 5 in a 26-car field. We had 26 late models for both features. What an outstanding group of drivers and cars there was. And some really good racing. Right here, let's show you the clip of what Brad Powell got into here, as he and Mike Kenneke both going into the point standings. Kenneke right there breaks something, and he slows down. Matt Henderson just avoids him. And the huge spin-outs. I was watching Corey Jankowski's in-car video of this. You see, Kenneke slows down. Henderson just gets underneath him. Powell has to spin as Ty Majeski rams into the back and to him. Bill Niles goes around, and Corey Jankowski right there just missed the back end of Randy Humfeld and Bill Niles. And, of course, bad night for it to end like that for Brad Powell and Mike Kenneke, both who are in the hunt for the late model points championship at La Crosse Speedway. So we set our sights now for a sportsman shootout. What a race this was right here. Brad Worthen started on the outside of road number 1. He leads the Rookie of the Year point standings. He was going for his first feature race win. Making his way through the field was point leader Greg Scheck. Scheck, as you see, as the camera focuses back around, side by side as the white flag flies for Greg Scheck and Brad Worthen. Worthen at one point had led this race by a considerable lead. He had about a quarter of a track length lead until Greg Scheck got to work his way out of the midway portion of that pack, starting things off with Steve Bachman in the feature. And what a duel this was right here. Scheck puts his foot into it, and all Worthen could do was watch the back end of the number 2 as he slips down, takes the spot. And as Scheck goes around to win the race. Worthen did lead 14 of 15 laps in that sportsman's feature. Also finishing off was Worthen second. Jimmy Crackhorn Gilster took third. It was Brian Hesselberg and Dr. Noy's Billy Martin rounding out the top 5. So a nice run for both Scheck and Worthen during that race. To the Thunder Stocks we go. A lot of bumping and grinding and paid trading going on in the action track quarter mile for this one right here. It was Jason Schaller and Andy Moore and Jason Bolster all running for a top spot. You see Tom Farah, who's getting better and better as the weeks go by on the action track quarter mile as they were battling for a spot. But way back up front, taking the white flag, was Jason Schaller in his El Camino, the only El Camino we have at the La Crosse Speedway. There he is running all by himself. Jordan Myers just didn't have enough room to try to catch up to him. And out of turns 3 and 4, Schaller will take home his second checkered flag feature race win on the season. Rounding out the order, Jordan Myers did take second, Andy Moore third, Thomas Farr took fourth, Jason Bolster completed the top 5. I'm going to go back here for a second and show you what happened on lap number 2 of this feature as 3 females, 3 of the 4 that run in this Thunderstock class, not saying there's anything wrong with that at all because they're all outstanding, just by chance happened to get into a wreck here as this Melissa Roosh in her 23 gets sideways, takes Kayla Ray Lockington just into path with her. They come back. Roosh has to pull off the track. When she comes back out, she's got kind of a skeleton car as the front end, the quarter panel was gone, the side panel was gone, but she did get to come out to complete that race. Let's go to the Hornets now, and Mark Bornitz, what a night he had. You talk about domination in that Ford Pro. You're going to see here Bornitz did it again as he had Jeff Thompson, a spirited race going on here. Thompson was leading this one for quite a bit. Mark Bornitz made his way through the pack, and you're going to see here Bornitz, well, he does what Greg Scheck did over Brad Worth, and the Sportsman dove down, found the spot, and he let Jeff Thompson see the bumper of his car. If you see the bumper of the car, it says, "Game over, you've been probed." Well, Jeff Thompson, well, he had watched that bumper sticker for the last full lap of this race here as Bornitz collects another checkered flag to go along with his heat race win from earlier in the night. Thompson does take second. Garrett Tickey takes third. Kevin Turner and Jeff Stumlin round out the running order. So next up, big night of racing coming up at the La Crosse Speedway, July 26th. This one's going to be interesting as qualifying is pushed back to 5:45. Well, we expect over 40 Tundra Super Late models into the La Crosse Speedway. They'll join La Crosse Late Models, Sportsman, and Thunderstock. So qualifying is at 5:45. Racing is at 7:30. We expect a whole bunch of different drivers to come out that don't run this track on a weekly basis, and a lot of familiar Oktoberfest race names as well. When we return on the second segment of the show, got some dirt track racing to show you here as your weekly update continues on Seven Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Holman American Legion, Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
At Cousin Subs, we never settle for good. We always strive for better. Since 1972, we've been creating our signature Deli Fresh subs. We start with fresh bread that's baked every day. Then we freshly chop vegetables and slice the meat daily. It's how we do it and always have. Why? Because you deserve better.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Dan Dyker at Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. Time to recap what happened last Friday night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, and even got some video up there this time. First off, in the Hornets, the Flyers are back again for their third of 4 races this year. Johnny Sievertson, former track champion, 2009 track champion, and track record holder, 11 feature wins in a row, came back up and showed Mark Bornitz how to get things done in the dirt as he took the Midwest Poker League Hornets feature. One more race coming up again in August before we go full-time next year. Bobby Ford Jr. won the MTS Pure Stocks. Lee Hager came in second. Let's show you the last 2 laps of the USRA Modified feature event. This was a fantastic races. Brad Waits came out and came back out again. He's got some track champions behind him that he was chasing down. I didn't get a chance to call this race because I was strapped into my race car already, and we'll tell you about that here in a minute. Of course, former track champion Josh Yanks right there hanging it out, trying to hang on to Waits in that Batman black vehicle right there. Only black vehicle we have out there like that. And he's going to run himself around and put Josh Yanks second. That track was slippery as all get out. It took so much rubber that for the first time in my years of 4 years announcing there, you could hear the tires screeching like you would on pavement into turn 1 into 2 as the checker flag flies. And again, the feature race winner was Brad Waits. Kurt Myers won the Wissota Superstock feature. Jeff Brower second. Ben Anderson won the USRA B-Mod feature. Alex Williamson took second. He's had a nice run over the past 3-4 weeks. Sean Mann won the Wissota Street Stocks. Tyler Wallstrom took second. And the final race of the night, I had a grudge race with Classic Hits 94.7 morning guy Keith Carr in my 77 announcer bouncer. Let's show you the last 2 laps of that. Well, actually, we have the last 2 laps of the Hornet feature. We'll show you that one first. This is Mark Bornitz. He's swept the field so far this year. He's got the first 2 feature wins. He goes door-to-door with the 2009 track champion as they took to the 3/8 mile. And 15-car feature, highest number of feature cars we've had this year. Bornitz got stuck to the outside. Of course, you get a guy that wins 11 straight features at the track. He knows this like Steve Carlson knows a Crosse. And Bornitz made one last attempt here to try to pinch down on the inside. And just wasn't going to happen. Got himself a little bit squirrely. And the checkered flag again goes to Johnny Severson. Now let's show you what I looked like in a grudge match. It was announcer versus announcer at the Speedway Friday night. We took 5 laps on the 3/8 mile. John Radke with R&R Racing had his number 7R car out there. And that was Keith Carr from Classic Hits 94.7. I was strapped into my 7D7 Radke Racing car. And we're going to show you the last 2 laps here in just a second of what that one looked like. So I actually got a trophy for beating Mr. Keith Carr in that media race right there. I did come back out my whole night. I took last in my heat race, started dead last and took last. And during the feature, I took 11th out of 15. So that's 2 features now that I've actually been able to complete in my historic racing debut with 1 to go here in August. We are off at the dirt track this Friday night. There's a big world championship going on at the Deer Creek Speedway. So we will be back Friday, August 1st with a $1,000 to win B-Mod Challenge. Expect a whole bunch of B-Mods coming up to Mississippi Thunder Speedway in Fountain City. And, of course, you can check me out when I race again in August. All right, so we were talking about this huge race at the Crosse Speedway coming up Saturday night, the Tundra Super Late Model Series. I've been waiting for this one to come back. Had a great crowd of cars last year. Had a great fan base that came out. One of the drivers that's going to be a part of that melee at the La Crosse Speedway, one of our TV favorites, didn't bring the product line like he did last year, but he knows he's got it in his head. And that would be the Hableman Cranberry Super Late Model driver, Corey Jankowski. What's up, man?
How you doing? I'm doing.
Corey's a little bit rough today, not because he had a busy racing weekend. You were one of these survivors from Rockfest.
Yeah, it was my first time. My brother has been doing it for like 17 years straight, going to Rockfest. And yeah, I decided we had the weekend off. That's what's a good thing about the Tundra Series. And I run Friday nights out the Golden Sand Speedways on Fridays. And it just happens to have that whole weekend off. And I filled it full of Rockfest. Woo!
Was it worth it?
Yes. I'll go back again, yes.
See, that's the thing is announcing Fridays and Saturdays, I don't get to do anything. I do, and I'm not complaining because I love to death what I do, but I don't get to do anything. My concerts come around after the race season's done.
Yeah.
Moody Blue is coming up here in September, so.
Yeah. I heard the Boston's coming over to Fort McCoy tour.
Show coming up. You going up?
And I got that weekend off too.
Oh. I'm going to put a GoPro on you for that weekend.
I'll do a couple of selfies. Check this out, Dan.
Well, Corey, of course, one of our favorites in the program and one of the favorites every time he hits the La Crosse Speedway, whether it's Tundra Super Lates or running if he's got a weekend off or even Oktoberfest. And you're going to be pretty excited to come back and lay it down on the 5/8 mile this weekend.
Yeah. We started out on the, what was that, 5/8 or so at Kakana.
Yeah.
I started that show off, and that was rough. That was like, I wasn't prepared for that at all. I've never been there, but you know, my whole touring around with the Tundra Series is a huge, just being there, just being part of the Tundra Series and getting to see these different tracks is really been a highlight actually this year. Hit Norway, Michigan, made the feature finally for the first time there, but now I get to come back to La Crosse, something I really know, so I hope I perform very well there.
Of course, Corey Jankowski running with the Tundra Super Late models and Golden Sands. A lot of racing coming up here. Matter of fact, you're going to be running almost every single weekend besides that that 9th of August when everybody's off. We're going to come back and fill the entire the third segment with Corey Jankowski and kind of talk more about this Tundra Super Late Model Series as it just continues to grow in its third season throughout Wisconsin, even up into Michigan. So stay tuned. We got more to come with Corey Jankowski, myself, next on Seven Rivers Racing.
We're here when the sun rises. And when the bread rises too. And we're here slicing it deli fresh every day. And every morning, we're chopping it all up. Why do we put so much effort into making it fresh? Because you deserve better.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modifieds,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Welcome back one more time. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker. Joining me on the program, one of our favorites, Corey Jankowski out of Toma, runs with Havelman Cranberries. How many years have you had them now? It's been a long time.
Havelman's, I started that in 2008. Is actually, I work construction. I'm self-employed. And we're doing a remodeling job on one of his marshes and stuff. And he actually was there on a lunch break, Ray Abelman Sr., and I'm like, you ever got into racing or sponsored a race car? And he's, no, didn't know nothing about it. So time, 15 years of racing and, you know, winning championships in La Crosse and doing Tomo's racing and Dells and stuff like that. Been all over the place. I had my name down in Rockford, Illinois. You know, I got down for 3 nationals down there. My name's pasted down there. Yeah, 1999 when the first area sportsman's division started down there. My name's on there. But anyways, I gave him a whole bunch of literature, what it's all about, and how I can take. Sorry about my horse. Rock fast. So. I gave him a whole bunch of literature, and he looked at it all. I showed him what I can do, and you get a sponsor, you have to promote yourself. You got to look good, and I mean, to get out there and run very well, try to, or at least try and stuff like that. And he went for the first year in 2008, and I ran against Travis Hancock, was actually well, we were buddies, whatever, but we were the two that just went at it all the way to tooth and nail at the very end, and he won by like a couple points, but And then he's like, "Why don't you move up?" And I says, "Move up? That takes another digit."
On the end.
Yeah, it's not a point. So, gratefully, he looked at what I was doing, and I got what I got now. And I got an awesome race car. I keep the maintenance up. I keep shopping around for different geometries, and you got to stay up on top of everything. That's why I hooked up with the Criers and stuff, because they think way out the box. And they do some crazy stuff, and we try to keep ourselves to our package, whatever, and try to keep it covered. But there's this super late model division I've been now a couple years now. I've been into. It brought me in. My mind is really thinking now. I mean, I can't imagine me going back to the years and trying to do that again. But it's phenomenal that. Sorry, I need a little some water too. but I'm glad. Hey, I ain't giving up. Just like Stone Sour says, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna party like a rock star, and he did.
He's not gonna leave like Rob Zombie did.
No, I won't leave.
He's not gonna walk off after 2 songs.
I'm gonna give everything I got. Even the last race I did up in Golden Sand Speedway, I wrecked. It was just a guy up front goofed up. And my daughter is spotting for me. She's doing a really good job. She goes, go low, and I went low, and I saw it. It was perfect. And you know what these idiots do sometimes? When you're stopped on the track, stay there. We'll get around you.
Right.
We will get around you.
Don't back out.
Don't do anything.
Forward.
He goes right in front of me, and I T-boned him.
Oh, man.
So there goes the front end. There goes everything a little bit, and I went back out. And I, at the time, Friday nights is just my daughter and I. Usually I get a couple friends once in a while to help me. So I pull in the pits, and I'm like, anybody got duct tape?
That's all it takes.
They wrapped it up real quick, and I went back out knowing there was more damage to the car. I had a lower control arm that was snapped off. I'm like, there's something wrong here. I did a couple more laps, and I pulled off and called her a day. But like I said, I tried my best. We're entertainers. I'm an entertainer. I try to do my best. Even if I don't make the A show, I'll make the hell of a B show out of it, And I'll fulfill everything, the fans want to see. They want to see all that action, the great moves and everything. And that's, as long as I still got the talent, I'm going to keep hammering out,
Well, I tell you that the talent's going to be out there. This, from what I've heard so far, Saturday night with this Tundra Super Late Model Series coming in, this could be a record-setting number of cars you guys are bringing in. Not only do you have your regulars, but you've got 4-time NASCAR champ from Minnesota coming in. You've got some other cars from Minnesota coming in. You've got to be looking forward to this size of field in a track right in your backyard.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, get to race against more talent out there and see what they got, except for Norway. I learned something in Norway.
A track you'd never been to before.
I'd never been to it, and I qualified for it. And I was racing very good. There's this thing up there. If they tap you in the ass, whatever you want to call it, the rear end, a couple times, that is to move out of their way.
Oh, nice.
A local guy showed me. He moved me. Granted, what did we start out with? 28 cars. We ended with 11.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was something else too. But I was sent around, and I'm like, okay, we have a gentleman's rule. Right. You put your hands up, and I was like, all right, it's my fault. I'm like, there's no way I'm letting this guy. He'd come back in the backpack. Let's start all over again, because I didn't know what the hell that was about.
Right.
So I went back there, and I'm like, I got on the radio, says, why ain't he come back there? He got his position back.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, oh, so that's how they play up here.
Corey's like, I'm game. I'm down now.
Lacrosse probably won't do that. But,
No.
Like I said, doing the Tundra Series, running around all these different tracks. Slinger's another one I've never been to, too. So I'm trying to get my literature on that one, too, trying to talk to some people.
I've interviewed a lot of Tundra guys on my WKTY radio show this year. They're saying the same thing you are. They're visiting all these different tracks.
Yes.
And they're gaining experience on, a Jefferson quarter mile. Then you've got WIR where you're going to run long straightaways. And then you come back to Lacrosse. And they said that's one of the best things about this series is you get to dabble in all these different tracks.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to bring your checkbook.
No. The thing goes, I paid $1,800 beginning of the season. That was it.
And that covers you through the entire?
It covers me through the whole 8 shows. All the tires are included. Your pit passes are included for your crew, up to 4 members and stuff. It's great because it actually takes a lot of load off. Yeah. And then we went to Norway, and actually the long trailers, they actually gave us $100 back.
Nice.
So
nice.
And you get a couple bucks back every time you run. So it's actually a really efficient way to race.
And that's a great segue for what Corey did last year. If you remember watching the show, he had a whole counter full of some of his sponsors' items here, and they didn't have a chance to bring it in here. But let's talk about your sponsors for this year, because I know that if you would have brought a car, you'd have had a whole stand with Bernstedt's European Market and Hableman Cranberries.
I was in a rush today, so I grabbed the bike instead. And it was a nice day out today, so I cruised up here quick. Like I said, I just got back from Rockfest, so I didn't have much time prepared. I'm looking at my watch. Ooh, it's 11 o'clock. I got to go. Dad, I'm coming. So anyways, I'm thankful for Hableman's. They're my primary sponsor. Without them, I wouldn't have what I'm doing right now with it. The cranberries be picked here. They're going to be a great harvest. I've been talking to them right now about it, and so it's going to be an awesome harvest for cranberries. Bernsted's has been on now for a couple years, and thankful you got to go check out Bernsted's. They have quite a few openings now. I think a Marshfield one's now opened up there. Black River Falls, Richland Center, and Toma's, all Bernsted's.
Wow.
So that place is, that's growing throughout the Wisconsin too. I brought in let's see here, Frank Cryer doesn't have water furnace, and I've been good friends with Scott that runs that. So I asked him, says, I don't want to step on no toes, Frank, but can I take them? So I got water furnace on my car actually for this year, and they hooked up with Flux Heating and Cooling, part of that deal too. So I got to go do a couple, Ashland, Wisconsin. I got to go up to some of these home shows and stuff like that to show the car off.
Oh yeah.
And that's pretty cool because that gets me out in the public and stuff like that too. And then I got Troy Lambert for Lambert's Forestry. So any forest products you need to be taken care of, they do all kind of forest situation stuff. So.
All righty. Corey Jankowski, you're going to see him here Saturday night, and would expect he would be one of those that, it's in his backyard. You saw what he did at Oktoberfest about 2 or 3 years ago. Knows that track quite well, and is going to be one of those that people are going to be watching right here with the hometown crowd. Appreciate you coming back in.
Yes, thanks.
We're going to have him on the AM 580 WKTY Mississippi Thunder Race Report this Saturday from 1 until 2. I'll get a chance to sit down and talk a bit more with Corey. And always stop down to the pits. I know he's got his autograph cards, and he's always a delight to sit down and...
One quick thing, Dan.
Yeah.
I was sitting up in Rockfest, partying like a rock star, and I don't have a name for my racing, and I thought of one. Rockstar Motorsports.
Oh, so the Superstars now?
Superstars is Cryers and all that. That's their Superstar Motorsports.
So Rockstar Motorsports.
I'm going to start my own little thing. Got my daughter and me, Rockstar Motorsports.
You know what we should do? Do you have T-shirts?
I just thought about this weekend, Dan. So
here's what you're going to do, folks.
Yeah.
Stop down in Corey's pit Saturday night after the Tundra Super Late Models are done. Mention the first person that mentions Rockstar Motorsports, give him a prize.
I have shirts coming up. Yeah.
All right,
I'll get some shirts to him. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely get your name.
Yeah.
And if you're the first person in his pit after the races are done to mention Rockstar Motorsports, hook them up.
Got it.
That's Corey Jankowski. Glad to have him on the program, and can't wait to see these guys run.
Yeah.
Saturday night, La Crosse Speedway, Tundra Super Late Models, our NASCAR Late Model Sportsman, and Thunder Stocks. That's going to do it for the program. Can't wait to see you all new folks at the racetrack. For everybody here at the station, I'm Dan Dyker. Thanks for watching 7 Rivers Racing.